Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukoon FM English. We are here to listen episode number 31. If you enjoy the secret son-in-law story, please like our story and share the story. And also give a valuable comment on the comment section. Tomorrow we see tomorrow we see Samar move to villa number 14 for some groceries. He knocked the door 3 times. Soon a hot girl in light makeup and a night gown came out. The girl asked with a charming smile, "Yes, tell me, who are you and how can I help you?" She was like a blooming rose, delicate, red, and fragrant. She was very attractive. Her smile was extremely beautiful, and everything paled in front of her smile. She was like an apsara who could make even sages and saints lose their penance with her beauty. As the number one king of the underworld, Summer had seen many beautiful girls, but the beauty of this charming girl was number one in the world. Even the underworld was nothing in front of the sparkle of her eyes. If he had to choose between the girl and this and Kiara, he would have been in trouble. Both were more beautiful than the other. His wife also very beautiful, but was very arrogant. Normally, Summer would have definitely flirted with such a beautiful girl. But now that Kiara was injured, he had to make yolk soup for her. So he did not have time to flirt with this charming girl. Summer asked with clear eyes, "Can you lend me something to eat? I have to make soup for an injured man. So if you have black bone chicken, lend it to me. I will pay for it later." He had suppressed his emotions in his heart. The charming girl was shocked to see the smile on Summer's face. A glimpse of surprise was visible in her eyes. The common man used to droll on seeing her, and all the rich boys of Indore city was crazy about her beauty. But this man was not bothered by their beauty. This aroused his curiosity. After all, the man who did not fall for her beauty was cutter than a giant panda. The girl kept her charming smile on and asked, "Do we know each other?" Summer innocently shook with his head and said, "No, I don't know you. In fact, we are meeting for the first time." The girl became even more surprised after hearing Summer's words. She said in surprise, "How can I give you a loan if we did not know each other?" Summer immediately asked, "So what? Let's get acquainted right now." Saying this, Summer extended his head to shake and said, "Hello, I am Summer, and what is your name?" The girl stared at him in surprise and said, "I am Payal. Have you really not heard of me?" Summer furrowed his eyebrows and shook his head. "Sorry, I never heard of you." He had never heard of that name. A look of surprise appeared on Payal's charming face. She said slowly, "You have never heard of me?" Summer shook in his head in confusion and said, "Sorry, I have never heard your name. Are you very famous? If so, why have I not heard your name?" Payal gave a charming smile. Her beautiful face was full of surprise. Her attractive eyes were blinking in a charming way. She said with a proud smile, "There is no one in Indore who does not know me." Payal's eyelids fluttered and her heart was filled with surprise. She thought to herself, "Has this man come from some foreign country? Or has he really never mentioned my name here?" Payal was the most beautiful girl in Indore. Like Kiara, she was known for of beauty all over Indore. Both ruled the hearts of boys. Boys from rich families of Indore were lining up for them. Moreover, Payal come from a mysterious background and had powerful connections. She was respected by the rich and powerful families across the city of Indore. Some people were even scared of her. Some people even said that they would prefer to offer the mayor of Indore instead of offending Payal. If they offend the mayor, they will remain alive. But if there is a big problem, they will leave Indore and go to another city. This way they can at least stay alive. But if they offend Payal, then there would be no place for them in the whole world, let alone the city whole. This showed that Payal was from a powerful background and covered the whole world. Summer asked her one more time, Miss, can you tell me if you can lend me chicken? Payal smiled and said, I can, but you have to tell me more about yourself first. What do you do and where do you live? I have never seen you at Nipania Palace before. Summer smiled brightly and replied, Miss, I live in the apartment next to yours. I am a salesman at Agarwal Industry. Will you help me now? He told her current identity. He did not tell her that he was Shadow King. He could tell that the girl in front of him was no ordinary girl and come from a powerful background. He did not want to get into any trouble right now, so he did not reveal his true identity. Pyle smiled after hearing him and said, Okay, just wait a minute. I will bring chicken for you. She gave a charming smile and went to the kitchen gracefully. As soon as she went to the kitchen, she took out a frozen black bone chicken from the deep freezer and brought it to Summer. He extended the chicken to Summer and said, Take this. This is a royal breed black bone chicken. I will lend it to you. You have to return it to me. Summer immediately nodded in affirmative and said, Yes, I will bring you the best breed of chicken as soon as the market opens tomorrow. On hearing his words, Pyle smiled charmingly and handed over the black bone chicken to Summer with her delicate pale hands. When Summer heard that this was the royal breed of black bone chicken, his eyes lit up. This breed of black bone chicken was the best breed in the world. This chicken had a lot of nutrients and it helped a lot of body recovery. In ancient times, the royal breed of black bone chicken was a good that only great emperor could enjoy. Great emperor loved black bone chicken soup. This kept their bodies extremely healthy and they could rule the longest time. The royal breed of was very few in number. Only a few families in Indore could get it through their connections. Common citizens could not even smell it. Summer did not expect that the attractive girl living in Haveli number 14 could get access to the royal breed of chicken if, of course, her connections was very powerful. But he had to make soup for his wife, and so he was not interested in knowing that the girl background. Summer took the chicken in his hand and thanked her, saying, Thank you, miss. I will repay you soon. Saying this, he took the black box chicken and went away. In a moment, he disappeared into the darkness. Pyle smiled at him and said to himself, What an interesting person he is. She closed the door with her charming smile and turned and went to room. The first meeting of both of them started with Black Bomb. Summer returned to the villa number 13 and put the chicken into the vessel. He added water, turned on the stove, and started cooking it now low flame. After an hour, the strong, delicious aroma emanated from the pot. Summer kept the soup in his hand and reached Kiara's bedroom. As soon as he reached the bedroom, Summer smiled and said, Honey, look, I have made soup for you. Drink it quickly, you will get some energy. And saying this, he placed the bowl of soup near Kiara's mouth. As soon as The aroma of the soup reached Kiara's nose. Her face lit up and with joy. She smelled the aroma from the bowl and said smilingly, "Wow, this soup smells so good. I am feeling very good just from its aroma." Housekeeper Maya also often made black soup, but it was never so fragrant. She took a spoonful. The fragrant spoon had a hint of sweetness. It was delicious. In a moment, she finished the whole bowl of soup. Kara licked her lips, her face filled with surprise, and she asked Summer, "Where did you get this black bone? How is it so delicious? Even our housekeeper Maya cannot make such a delicious soup." As soon as she mentioned Maya's name, she remembered something and her surprise increased even more. She knew that the housekeeper was not at home and there was no food in the kitchen. How did Summer make soup? Moreover, she could tell from the taste that it was not ordinary black bone, it was high-bred black bone. Summer smiled brightly and said, "I borrowed this black bone from someone. This is royal breed." Kiara repeated. "Royal breed?" Her eyes widened in surprise. She had heard of the royal breed. It was only available at the higher class people in India. It was so precious that even Kiara had never tasted it before. But there were many people with deep connections and strong backgrounds living in Nipania Palace. It would not be surprising if one of them had the royal breed and have given it as a loan during the war. She was curious as who Summer borrowed the black bone. It was indeed the famous royal breed. Then Summer asked her, "Honey, are you feeling better now? Did you feel anything in your body?" Kiara happily chirped, "Great, I feel so good. This was so delicious." Summer opened his mouth and said, "Of course, this was the real breed. The nutrient value of the black bone is very high. It could supply iron, nourishes the body, and it would prevent our body aging too quickly." Kiara thanked him and said, "Thank you, dear, for taking such good care of me." Summer smiled and said, "I am your husband. It's my duty to take care of you." "Hmm," Kiara replied. Her heart was filled with warmth. Ever since she was little, she hated boys and did not like to talk to them. Because of this, she never had a single boyfriend till now. She always stayed away from the boys. But she wanted to get closer to boys in front of her. Maybe it was because Summer had saved her life. She muttered to herself, "No, Kiara, control your emotions. What will he think of you if you lean towards him?" Thinking this, she lay back on the bed. Then Summer covered with her with a blanket and said smilingly, "Honey, you can relax now, and you don't have to worry or be scared at all. I am sitting right here next to you." Kiara smiled at him and said, "You should also take some rest. You will get tired like this." Summer smiled at her and patted Kiara's head and said, "It's okay, I am fine, don't worry about me and sleep peacefully." Kiara did not argue after this and silently closed her eyes. Summer sat on the sofa next to her. Then he remembered that today's Kiara was calling him up or not tum. She had started respecting him. Thinking about this brought a smile on his face. The next morning, the first ray of the sun entered the room through the window. Summer was still sitting on the sofa looking at Kiara. Then he saw that Kiara slowly started crying and opened her eyes. Seeing Kiara open her eyes, Summer asked her lovingly, "You woke up. How are you feeling now? Are you okay?" Kiara was a normal girl. Seeing the dangerous attack on the poisonous spider, Summer was afraid that Kiara might have a bad effect her. Kiara smiled brightly and replied, "Much better. Feeling energetic." She felt her body was full of energy. She knew that it was only because the soup that she was getting so sick. Even though she had regained her energy, she still had a bruise on her forehead and from yesterday's impact. The soup was healing it slowly, but the bruise was being so she knew it was take a day to heal. Whereas after listening to Kiara, Summer stopped worrying. As long as his wife is fine, he has no need to worry. Then Kiara, while touching her injured forehead, said slowly, "Dear, I am looking very ugly because of the injury on my forehead. So I want to rest for a day and will go to office tomorrow, not today." Summer smiled a little and said, "Okay, you take rest today. I will also stay at home with you." And he decided to stay at home and take care of Kiara. His relationship with Kiara was getting better. He did not want to do anything that would upset Kiara. Both of them did not want to rush. They just wanted to give their relationship time. As far as divorce is concerned, Summer had not even thought about it yet because Tiger King was still in Indore and could target Kiara at any time. To ensure Kiara's safety, he could not take divorce. Kiara was like a scarred little bird. She needed more comfort with her family. Glang, glang, glang. Both of them were still talking with Kiara's phone starting ringing. She took out her phone and saw that it was her father's call. Her facial expression suddenly changed. She did not have a good relationship with her father. They often fought that over fact that her father had a second wife and Kiara also had a brother from her. Kiara reluctantly picked up the phone and asked her, "Why do you call me now?" A mature man's voice was heard from the other end of the phone. "Nothing, daughter. Your mother and I want to meet you and our son in law today. Are you both at home?" Kiara straight away refused her father, saying, "I am very busy today. We will meet some other day." She did not want to meet him. When she was little, her father never cared about her, but now he wanted to meet her. Who is he kidding? It was a lie that the father wanted to come and meet me. Perhaps he wanted to meet his son-in-law Samar, because he thought Samar was the heir of Bhardwaj's family, the richest family in India. Then her father said, "Okay, I was just saying that your mother wants to meet you. If you don't believe me, then take this. Talk to your mother." The man clearly knew that his daughter did not like him, so he gave the phone to his wife. Kara was now waiting for her mother to sing this. Then a compassionate voice come from the other side of phone. "Kiara, today your father and I want to meet you and son-in-law. That's why we are coming. But you will not argue anymore." Hearing this voice, Kiara's eyes filled with tears. It was her mother's voice because her father wanted a son and her mother gave him birth to a daughter. Then she fell ill with misery and she gave up her power to be a mother. This made her father very angry. When she was young, her father threw her out of the house and left her to die of cold and hunger. This made her very sad, and from then on, she hated men. Her cold personality was formed when she was little. When Kiara was about to die hunger, her mother gave her food and water. If it were not for her mother, Kiara would have died of cold outside when she was little. So she was very grateful to her mother. She smiled and slowly said, "Mom, since you want to come, you can come. I will wait for you at home." She could stop her cruel father from coming. But she could not stop her mother, who loved her. Kiara knew that Agarwal family did not treat her mother well. Her father also did not support her mother, and his second wife and son both treated Kiara's mother badly. Kiara was a daughter who had asked her mother many times to come and live with her, but she always refused. Her mother still she was unable to separate from her cruel father. Then her mother said from the other end, "Okay, Kiara, we will back in a little while." She seemed very excited to hear her voice, and then she hung up the phone. As soon as she hung up the phone, Summer saw her upset and slowly asked, "Honey, what happened? Why do you look so upset? What is the problem? Tell me, I will support you." Kiara replied to Summer with a forced smile. "No, no, there is nothing like that. My parents were coming today. Now I am injured. So will you prepare for the welcome?" "Are your parents coming?" Summer asked in surprise. Kiara replied to him, "Yes, you will have to do grocery shopping. There is nothing to eat at home right now. So you will have to go grocery shopping for snacks and water." After listening to her, Summer rubbed his hand and said softly, "Honey, as you know, I have not received my salary yet, so I don't have any money. So you have to give me some money. Only then I will be able to do grocery shopping." He was the great Shadow King, but now he was asking a girl for money, and that too from his own wife. This made him feel very ashamed. Hearing this, Kiara picked up their bag and took out a debit card from it and handing it over to Summer and said, "It doesn't matter. You take this card, pay whatever bill is due with this." And saying this, she handed over a card to Summer. Summer also took the card and said, "Okay, honey, you take rest. I will back in a minute." He walked out to the house and headed towards Walmart. Walmart was the world's largest chain convenience store. Everything was able in the store. He reached the store in no time. On reaching the store, he bought a bread, chicken, species, and some vegetables, two bottles of white wine and red wine. He did not waste much time and quickly collected all the stuffs and other paying the bill, quickly returned to the villa. When he opened the door, he saw a man and a woman was sitting on the sofa. The man was 40 years old. The man was wearing a branded suit, had a Rolex watch and had clean shave and had a slightly plump body. Summer could tell from his handed face that he must have been very handsome when he was so young. The woman sitting next to her looked somewhat like Kiara. Both of them had oval face and thin eyebrows. She had a little older than Kiara. She was an older woman. She was very dignified and her had a cold, good manner. The man's name was Shivraj and the woman's name was Aleshka. They were both of Kiara's parents were Samar's mother-in-law and father-in-law. Seeing Samar's come in, Shivraj stood up and said, "Samar, you are back." Even though he was Samar's father-in-law, he was still not able to make eye contact with Samar because Samar was the son of the Bhardwaj family. His social status was much higher than this. Samar greeted his in-laws and said, "Father-in-law, mother-in-law, you all have arrived. Now just wait a minute. I will arrange for tea and snacks for you." And saying this, he headed straight towards the kitchen. Then Shivraj furrowed and said to him, "Samar, why are you cooking food? You are from the Bhardwaj family. How can you cook food in the kitchen? You sit, Kiara will prepare tea and snacks. Anyway, this is Kiara's job." But Samar refuted Shivraj's words and said, "It doesn't matter. I can too cook food, and worse the shame is doing household chores. Anyway, Kiara is not well, so there is nothing wrong if I cook food for her. He entered the kitchen and started cooking. When he was in Africa, living in the desert, he often cooked for himself. So he was quite good at cooking. Half an hour later, a table was set with delicious food. There was a total of 8 dishes on the table: two kinds of soup, chicken, fish, as well as vegetables. There was vegetable soup and chicken soup, and the food had all the flavors of the world. It would make any more hungry just by looking at the dinner table. Seeing so many dishes, Shivraj praised Summer and said, Summer, we did not know that you can cook food too. It is not easy. His eyes were filled with surprise. Sitting next to her summer mother-in-law, Alaska, that could not stop herself for praising how delicious the food was. Initially, Aliska was a little worried. She feared that her son-in-law would not have a good relationship with her daughter and would not make a living for her. Her daughter's husband was the heir of the Bhardwaj family. It would be just as well as if he did not make a living for his wife. But Aliska never imagined that her son-in-law could not only cook, but whatever he cooked was very tasty. As a mother, she always wanted her daughter to get married to a good man who knows everything. Summer not only fulfilled her wishes, but he was even better than she had imagined. At the dinner table, Summer was serving food to Kiara and his own hands. Seeing this, both her laws were very happy and smiled from ear to ear. Seeing that Kiara and Summer were taking care of each other and there was a lot of love between them, Kiara's mother was naturally very happy. Of course, Aliska was also asked why Kiara was wearing so many bandages. Kiara told her that she accidentally fell and got hurt, and that she had not tell her parents about the deadly attack on her so that they would not worry. Everyone finished eating and had a good time with each other. Kiara and her mother were chatting with Summer and father-in-law were drinking wine. In the end, two bottles of white wine were completely finished. Of course, Summer drank 1.5 bottles while his father-in-law drank only half a bottle. It was quite notable that Shivraj was very underweight. He got so intoxicated after drinking just half an bottle that Kiara's mother Alishka's had to support him and take him home fell. Before leaving, Shivraj told Samar to tell his family to take care of Agarwal industry. Samar's family in the Bhardwaj family. This was the main reason for his coming today. Samar did not answer anything, just nodded yes. After Shivraj left, Kiara told Samar, Dear, my father is very greedy. No matter how much you help him, even if with you help Agarwal industry become the number one industry in the India, he will not even thank you. He will just cheat you. She knew that very well how the father liked to treat people. In father eyes, profit is always the most important thing. Summer furrowed his eyebrows and said, Honey, after all, he is my father-in-law. I could not refuse him so directly. He thought that being a son-in-law, how could he refuse her father-in-law so directly? It does not look good like this. But Kiara was upset. Why so Kiara was upset? What will happen in the next? Seen in tomorrow's episode. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, comment in the comment section and share the story also. Hello friends, welcome to our story Secret Son-in-Law and our channel Sukoon FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story and comment in the below comment section. Today we listen episode number 32. Now let's begin the story. Summer furrowed his eyebrows and said, Honey, after all, he is my father-in-law. I could not refuse him so directly. He thought that, being in a son-in-law, he could be refused his father-in-law so directly. It does not look good like this. No one said anything for a while. Only the sound of their breathing was coming. Then Summer broke the silence and returned Kiara's debit card and asked, Honey, can I sleep with you in your room tonight? Kiara's facial expression changed a little. Feeling a little comfortable, she said, No, but the very next moment she realized that she had said it too rudely. She thought that Summer might feel bad, so she tried to handle the situation and said, I mean, I am not ready for this time right now. Can you give me some more time? And thus she rejected Summer's request to sleep in the room. She loved cleanliness and hated clothes since childhood. When Summer hugged her yesterday, that itself huge compromises for her, she was still not able to process it. So she could not compromise more in a short time. Summer smiled and said, It's okay, honey. If you don't feel it right now, it's okay. You take your time, and whenever you feel we can take our relationship forward, you let me know. I am not in any hurry. After saying this, he walked toward his bedroom on the first floor. He knew that Kiara was a little bit reserved and hated boys. It was almost like a disease. He could not force her, and this disease of Kiara could only be cured by love and care. He was confident that if he took care of Kiara and made her feel good, a day would definitely come when Kiara could agree to take this relationship with her forward. Both of them went to their respective bedrooms and slept. The next morning, the sun had come out and the early birds were chirping incessantly on the branches. The weather was very nice today. Summer got up early as soon as he went to the living room. He saw that there was a cup of milk on the table and bread butter in a plate and also a blank card on a paper slip. It was written on the slip of paper. Dear, I am going to the office. I have cooked breakfast for you myself. You can have breakfast. Also, I have a bank card. Its limit is up to 10 lakhs. I know you don't have money and you will get your salary in the month of May. That's why you have to walk to the company, but not anymore. Now you can use this card. Summer smiled looking at the card and food on the table. After washing his hands, he sat on a chair and had milk and bread. Then he picked up the card and walked towards the building of Agarwal Industry. Since he now had money in his pocket, he took a taxi and went to the office. He reached the office in no time. As soon as he reached the sales department of the company, Summer heard a loud voice. Summer, you are finally here? When he looked in the direction of the sound, he found Prachi looking at him in surprise. Today, Prachi was wearing a light blue dress which was extremely tight. Her figure was looking even more attractive in it, and he was going crazy with the strong smell of her perfume. Summer eyes sparkled and he praised Prachi and said, Prachi, today you look more beautiful than before. Prachi rolled her eyes and said seriously, Summer, why are you fooling me? Hearing her, Summer laughed a little and said, Prachi, I can't dare you fool you. Ask anyone. You are looking very beautiful today. Prachi blushed after hearing so much praise. Her face turned red like a tomato. Changing the topic, she said, Summer, you too. Now stop praising me and tell me, why did you not come to the office yesterday? Summer smiled and said, Prachi, I had some very important work yesterday due to which I was very busy, so I can't come. Yesterday, Kiara was attacked and she got injured. He had to take care of her at home, so naturally he couldn't come to the office. Prachi said in a worried voice, Summer, if you could not come to the office, then you should have informed your senior about this. But you did not to do so yesterday, and now you have been marked absent. Rest your now. The Sieve is looking for an excuse to get you fired from the job. Still, how could you make such a big mistake? Indicated that Prachi need not worry. Samar nodded his head and said, "It doesn't matter. I have just taken a day off. He can't fire me for such a small thing." Then suddenly a cold voice came. "I can definitely leave. You have taken leave without informing anyone, so I can fire you from the job." Both of them looked in the direction of that voice and found that Pawan was coming towards them. He took off from the set. "I am not going to take you get off out of the job," Samar furrowed and said. "Manager Pranav, I have taken only one day off. At the most, you can deduct one day's salary and cancel my full attendance bonus. Can you fire me from the job for such small thing?" A look of dissatisfaction was clearly visible on his face. Then Pranav brought out another topic and said, "Samar, let's forget about the leave. You tell me this. It has been 3 days since you joined. Have you sold even a single product yet?" "Oh, not yet." Samar shook his head and said. Pranav laughed out loud and said, "This is true. I agree that our Agarwal industry is a big company and it's also making good profit. But this is a company, not a charity where we keep paying salary to people sitting idly. You did not sell a single piece in a 3 days and took a leave on your own without telling anyone. That's why I'm officially announcing that I am fired you from the job." His voice was loud and more than a dozen people in the sales department heard his order. Whispers broke out almost them. One said to the other, "Oh, now he is caught. He had hit Manager Pranav 2 days ago. Now he is caught. Manager Pranav will definitely fire him from the job." The other one said, "Do any of you know that? Why did he call Manager Pranav after all?" Then one of them thought for a while and said, "I think Manager Pranav must give given him too much work. That's why he got angry and attacked him." Everyone in the sales department was talking. Some of them were laughing, but there were some who were showing sympathy. Prachi's face turned red with anger. She said angrily, "Manager Pranav, even though Samar did not sell any jewelry, he recovered a debt of 1 crore rupee from the Eagle gang. Yes, you can fire him like this. How can this manager be so evil? Maybe he wants to fire Samar from his job. She will never let that happen." Hearing his words, a beautiful smile came on Pranav's face. He accepted his words and replied, "Prachi, I asked you to recover that 1 crore rupee. So it was your job. You are the one who recovered it. And it has nothing to do with him. I am fired him from the job today itself." He left no room for discussion. Just then Kiara reached there. When she heard the noise there, she asked, "What is a debate going on here?" She said, "Come to the sales department only," because she wanted to meet Summer, but she had not thought that she would hear so much debate there. Seeing him, Pranav ran towards him and while answering his question, said, "President, that Summer did not come to the office yesterday without any reason, and he did not inform anyone about this, and neither he had sold a single product till now. So now, when he is not serious about his work, I am firing him from the job." The CEO had to take care of a lot of things every day. He had more than a dozen people. There were many departments and hundreds of employees. It was an honor for the sales department that he come there, so it was the duty of the manager to satisfy with him his work. Kiara raised his eyebrows and looked at Pranav and asked, "What do you want to say? That Samar didn't come to the office yesterday, so you want to fire him?" Pranav nodded and said, Yes, ma'am. I am taking it out. We don't like such lazy people. And there is no need for lazy people who don't want to work hard at all. He was trying to show through his talk as if he was doing all this for the company. But he will not think. What about Kiara's think about this matter? What will do Kiara next? Stay tuned with Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and comment in the comment below section. Hello, friends. Welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We are here to listen story Secret Son-in-law Shadow King. Today we listen episode number 33. Let's begin the story. Pranav will fire Samar from the job. But in between Kiara present in the debate. And firstly, she know the old problems. And she think it's not a big problem, it's a casual problem. Pranav nodded and said, Yes, ma'am, I am taking it out. We don't like such a lazy people. And there is no need for lazy people who don't want to work hard at all. He was trying to show though his talk as if he was doing all this for the company. Kiara tightened her lips after hearing Pranav's word. She raised her eyebrows and started thinking to herself. She started saying, Pranav is such an idiot. He wanted to fire my husband in front of me. Don't be so stupid. And Pranav is firing Samar because he did not come to the office yesterday. But he does not know the Samar was taking care of me at home yesterday. Finally thinking all this, Kiara opened her red lips and said in a cold voice, Manager Pranav, now I am announcing that I am not going to call Samar right now, but I will go to the next session. I am firing you from your job. Pranav's eyebrows rose and he was shocked. He was not sure if he had heard wrong. He grumbled. What? Are they firing me? But they should have fired Samar. Sir, why is the CEO firing him? He thought that CEO had some misunderstanding. So he tried to explain to Kiara, saying, President, it was Samar who was the careless. Not me, I think. Have you misunderstood something? You should fire him, not me. There was a flattering expression on Pranav's face. He was just a small sales manager. Naturally, he had to please the CEO of the company. That's why he was flattering. Kiara said with a cold smile without any emotion. I have no misunderstanding. It happened. Manager Pranav, the person I want to fire you. You are giving me your resignations letter today. If you do not do this, I will prepare your settlement letter. You also know what impact it will have on your future. She absolutely hated this man who kept trying to cause trouble for her husband. Hearing his words, Pranav's face turned terrifying white. It seems as if his close relative to May I have died. It will take him many years to reach the position to sales manager. But now, Kiara fired him from the job in just a minute. He was feeling very angry about this. But he could not do anything right now. That's why he went out from there with a sad face because of crying in his heart. After he left, Kiara said to Samar, raised her red lips slightly. Samar, Pranav was the leader of the sales team. Now that he has been removed, why don't you become the sales team leader? I will promote you right now. Prachi and other service employees were stunned to hear his words. They started gossips with each other. It happened, no one could understand that what was happening. One of the Singh said, What is going on? CEO madam not only fired but wants to make Samar the leader of the sales team. Another girl said in shock. CEO ma'am is helping Samar. Am I dreaming? While saying this, she pinched herself. Ouch! She felt a little pain. Then a handsome boy standing near the said, "Friend, you are not dreaming. CEO madam is really helping him." Then the first girl asked in confusion, "But what is Summer relationship with CEO madam? Why does it seem like madam is giving him special treatment?" The employees around were talking in surprise. They were also feeling a little jealous while guessing the relationship between the two. Then Summer replied to Kiara with a little smile. "Kiara, this is my third day in sales department. I am still not familiar with the responsibility. If I go to sales, then I will be fine. If I become the leader of the team, I am afraid that others will not agree with this. Better, I would be better off refusing this position right now and rejection the position of leader of the sales team." Even though Kiara wanted to help him, she herself knew enough to he is just a new employee. If he suddenly become the leader of the sales team, then what else would happen? Employees could revolt. Sales department was an important department of the Agarwal industry. If there is a rebellion there, if he had gone, Agarwal Industries would have suffered a huge loss. That is why he had refused. After hearing Simar's refusal, there was a glimpse of admiration on Kiara's face. To tell you the truth, Kiara also realized that she had hated to Hazley Agarwal as the CEO of Industries. She should be fair and just instead of taking sides. Now the Summer had rejected his offer. He thought for a while and said, "Summer, since you don't want to become the leader of the sales team, can you suggest any someone else name?" Summer smiled and looked at Prachi and recommended her to Kiara, saying, "President Kiara, I believe Prachi is the most suitable candidate to become the leader of the sales team. He is senior employee and experienced too. Apart from this, he is also received the Best Employee of the Month award last month. He is a responsible and dedicated employee. Since he joined Agarwal Industry, two people have helped in lot. One was Ira, the other was Prachi. Ira was already the director of the sales department. She was helping him. There was not much I could do. The other one was just an ordinary employee. He thought that he could repay that by showing kindness." Hearing this, Kiara announced the entire sales department. "Excuse me, all. Listen to me for a minute. I am informing everyone that from now on, Prachi Desai, there is a new sales manager of the sales department. From now on, you will all listen to her and hopefully work hard with her." And after saying this, she went toward the cabin. She was the CEO of the company and was very busy. She had many duties and responsibility every day, so she was towards her cabin. When the employees of the sales department saw the CEO was gone, they all started looking at Summer strangely. Everyone had a lot of questions in their mind. Who is this man? And what is this relationship with the CEO? Why is the CEO listening to him? Prachi had a grateful expression on her face towards Summer along with Sam. She thanked Summer, "Kiara, for recommending me to the sales team manager." He said thank you. She knew that with her qualifications it was difficult for her become a sales team leader, but with Summer recommendation, she got the position easily. Prachi was a dedicated worker. The positions of the sales team manager was a confirmation of her performance, so she was very happy. Apart from this, the salary of the sales team leader was also higher than the normal employees. Apart from salary, attendance award, year-end awards, and various benefits were all better than that are normal employees. Her father was ill and she needed money urgently for his treatment. Now that her salary was higher, she could take better care of her father. Therefore, she was very grateful to Summer. Summer replied to her with a little smile and said, "Prachi, I thank you. There is no need to this. You deserve this post. That's why I named you, I suggested." He liked this beautiful, delicate, and responsible girl very much. Just then, Prachi suddenly opened the purse and took out 1 lakh rupees from it and gave it to Samar. Extending it towards him, he said, Samar, this is stone. It is for you. Seeing her act, Samar got angry. This is why he stopped Prachi in the middle. He said angrily, Prachi, what do you mean? I made you sales team leader for money? I did not advise you to become one. He helped Prachi, just one of gratitude and love. Now that Prachi is giving him 50,000, what is this? A bribe? This made him very angry. When Prachi saw that Samar was misunderstanding his words, she immediately told Samar explaining. She said, No, no, Samar, you are misunderstanding me. This is 1 lakh rupee. There is a reward of 1 crore rupee for getting out of the gang. Naturally, yours is on this. I have the right, so I am giving it to you. Samar immediately understood what the she meant and nodded his head and said to himself, Oh, so this is reward. He had earlier given the company's reward system. The reward was 5% commission on the sales of every product and 1% commission on the recovery of every difficult debt. Prachi and she said recovered a debt of 1 crore rupee from the Eagle gang. This was a lakh and he had 1% commission of 1 crore. Samar shook his hand and said to Prachi, Prachi, that mission was yours. So this reward is also yours. You should keep it with you. I must stay here. But Prachi denied his statement. What will do Prachi? What will happen in the next episode? Stay tuned with Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and also comment on the below comment section. Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. Friends, today we listen episode number 34. If you enjoy the story, Secret Son-in-Law Shadow King, please subscribe our channel first and like the video, comment the video and share the video. Tomorrow we listen Kiara fired Pranav's sales manager and she announces the Prachi will be the sales manager of the company. And after saying this, she is towards to the cabin. She was the CEO of the company and was very busy. She had many duties and responsibilities every day. So she went towards her cabin. When the employees of the sales department saw that the CEO was gone, they all started looking at Summer strangely. Everyone had a lot of questions in their mind. Who is this man? And what is the relationship with the CEO? Why is the CEO listening to him? Prachi had a grateful expression on her face towards Summer along with shame. She thanked Summer Kiara's her recommending me to the sales team manager. She said, Thank you. She knew that with the qualification it was difficult for her to become a sales team leader. But with Summer's recommendation, she got the position easily. Prachi was a dedicated worker. The position of the sales team manager was a confirmation of her performance, so she was very happy. Apart from this, the salary of the sales team leader was also higher than that of the normal person. Her father was ill and she needed money urgently for his treatment. Now that her salary was higher, she could take better care of her father. Therefore, she was very grateful to Samar. Samar replied to her with a little smile and said, Prachi, I thank you. There is no need to do this. You deserve this post. That's why I named you Suggested. He liked this beautiful, dedicated, and responsible girl very much. Just then, Prachi suddenly opened her purse and took out 1 lakh rupee from it and gave it to Samar. Extending it towards him, she said, Samar, this is stone. It is for you. Seeing her act, Samar got angry. That is why he stopped Prachi in the middle. He said angrily, Prachi, what do you mean? I made you sales team leader for my money. I did not advise you to become one. He helped Prachi just out of gratitude and love. Now that Prachi had given him 50,000. What is this? A bribe. This made him very angry. When Prachi saw that Summer was misunderstanding her words, she immediately told Summer, explaining his set. No, no, Summer, you are misunderstanding me. This is 1 lakh rupee. There is a reward of 1 crore rupee for getting out of the gang. Naturally, yours is on this. I have no the right. So I am giving it to you. Summer immediately understood what she meant and nodded his head and said to himself, oh, so is this reward. Prachi and he had recovered a debt of 1 crore rupee from the Eagle gang. This was 1 lakh of 1% commission of 1 crore. Summer shook his head and said to Prachi, Prachi, that mission was yours. So this reward is also yours. You should keep it with you. I must stay here. But Prachi denied his statement and said, Summer, without you, I would never have been able to bring 1 rupee, let alone 1 crore, from the same gang. This is all you because of you. The settlement has been made, so please take this money. But Summer refused once again and said, Prachi, I have already told you that I will not take this money, so kept it quickly. When Prachi saw that Summer was not ready to listen to her, she got angry and said, Summer, if you don't keep it, I won't keep it either. Now, when Summer saw that Prachi was not listening to him at all, he thought for a while and said, okay, if you are not agreeing, then let's do one thing. Both of us will exchange this money. Smile brightly. He divided the bundle of 1 lakh rupee into the parts, and 50 he gave Prachi and 50 in his pocket. Prachi refused to take 50,000, but when Summer insisted, she took the money hesitantly. I must say, she was a noble and good girl. If it would have been any other girl, she would never have given a single penny to Summer. After taking 50,000, she said smilingly, Summer, we have earned 50,000 rupees today. So let's have a party in the evening after office hours. Summer nodded and asked, it's okay, then tell me where to go. Prachi smiled and said, we will go to watch karaoke at the Silver Diamond Club. Summer nodded in agreement in her words and went to the restaurant with her after work decided to go to karaoke at the Diamond. While both of them were planning for the party, there was sadness on Pranav's face. He left the company and went straight to Shivda Dhaba. He hid out of the Eagle gang. He went to the dhaba and directly met Bakhtawar, the leader of the Eagle gang. Bakhtawar asked him, yes, tell me why have you come there? What works do you have? Pranav took out a bundle of notes from his pocket and placed it in front of Bakhtawar, said in low voice. Bakhtawar bro, I want to beat someone for me. I will pay you whatever price you ask for this. Hearing this, Bakhtawar smiled and said to his, okay, who is it? Pranav gritted his teeth and said, his name is Samar. He will be at Silver Diamond Club tonight. Once he gets there, I will keep you updated on this every move. Even though he was removed from the sales department, there were still many people in the department. There were connections and spies. When a sales department employee messaged Pranav that Prachi and Summer are going to Silver Diamond karaoke tonight, he decided to take revenge and teach Summer a lesson. Summer had no idea that Pranav was planning to take revenge on him. In this company, Summer and Prachi were comfortably engaged in their work. While doing so, he did not even realize when the day passed and it was time to leave the office. Prachi said to Summer with a happy smile on her innocent face. Summer, our duty is over. We should go to Silver Diamond Club now. And saying this, she wore his high heels. She had on a green makeup and wore a green blue dress, which made her beautiful figure look very beautiful. She dressed up especially for the occasion and she looked very beautiful. Summer nodded and said, "Okay," and walked out of the sales department with that. As they passed the security department on the first floor, Summer's eyes fell on the fat Rohan. Rohan also took it and come to Summer and asked him, "Summer bro, when are you giving me the treat?" Summer smiled and said, "What do you mean by when? Whenever you are free, tell me. You will go to treat. By the way, even today after dinner, we go to the Silver Diamond Club. I am going to the karaoke. If you are free, can you come with us?" He wanted to thank that man properly because after all, it was he who had helped him. I did great favor to him by lending him my bride. Rohan rubbed his plump cheek and looked at Prachi with a big smile. He also said, "Oh, I will get to go out with a beautiful girl. I am free now. Let me go with you guys." He liked to eat and drink, but he had just started his job and he still had to. He had not received his salary. He was happy that someone was taking him to eat good food. The three of them moved off to the Rivers Inn hotel located next to the company. Rivers Inn hotel was a 10-story hotel and was luxuriously decorated. It was a five-star hotel and due to its proximity to Agarwal industry, its business was always good. It was very good, Rohan said in amazement and he entered the hotel. What a luxurious hotel! It was obvious that he had come to such a luxurious place for the first time. So he was surprised and blinded to see the luxurious decoration. Both Summer and Prachi remained calm. Summer had offered more luxurious hotel than this. The Prachi had come to the hotel earlier also. Earlier, Director Ira was the head of the entire sales department of this hotel. When I gave treat, Prachi also come here with everyone. Samar booked a private room in his hotel so that no one would disturb him. As the three of them sat around the table, Rohan wanted his little eyes and said with a smile, "Brother, we are lucky to have met. Let's order 2 bottles of white wine to celebrate a good start to our friendship." Samar agreed and said, "Okay, let's get 2 bottles of Jacob wine." Rohan was shocked to hear the name of the wine from his mouth. This wine was very expensive, at least for him, very expensive. So he said to Summer in a worried tone, "Brother, this is very expensive. You do not need to buy such expensive wine. I have to buy someone wine. It will work for a little less." He was worried that if Summer could not pay the bill at the time of the payment, she would have to go to jail. Summer also understood the reason for her hesitation, so he smiled and said, "It doesn't matter. The company has rewarded me to 50,000 rupee today. So don't worry about the money and focus on enjoying." He generally ordered the 2 bottles of Jacob, also known as the Emperor wine, a wine white with 52% alcohol. Rohan, who had never tasted alcohol before, he had never drunk such expensive wine, leave alone drinking it. He had not even given it to her. As soon as he handed over the wine bottles, his eyes sparkled. But he did not know that while Summer was abroad, all the wine he drank costed not less than 1 lakh rupees. He still not have the courage to drink such expensive wine, he said tremblingly. He poured wine into a glass with his hands and handed it to Summer. Summer smiled softly and finished it in one swing. Seeing him finish the wine in one swing, Ron praised him and said, Wow, brother, you drank it in one swing. I had heard that this wine is very strong, but you drank a big glass in one go. Very bad. And gave him a thumbs up. I did it. It was a large white wine glass. One glass could hold the 2 ounces of white wine. Seeing this, he was impressed that Summer could drink it in one gulp without gushing for breath or redness. Drinking and eating was the first way to the need relationship. After a few cups, but Rohan and Summer became like real brothers who could talk to each other about everything. The only thing that made Rohan sad was Prachi. He did not talk to her at all. She was talking to Summer, and whenever she was talking to Summer. He was feeling a little jealous of way she was refused to call him. Rohan looked at his fat body sadly and thought to himself, all girls always like handsome boys. Who would like a fat guy like you? While eating, Rohan went to washroom. When he came back, his face was red. Seeing Rohan's abnormality, Summer asked, Brother, what happened? After talking to Rohan just now, Summer realized that Rohan had a good personality and he was well mannered. But what happened now that he was looking so sad? Rohan was about to say this when the door of the room opened. Two people entered the private room silently, a man and a girl. She was young and was around 20 years old. She was beautiful and had a good figure too. But she wore heavy makeup and bright red lipstick. She wore less. He was also wearing clothes and had applied strong perfume. And the man would be at least 40 years old and could be the girl's husband. He was smoking marijuana and his stomach was protruding. Who was both? What will happen in the next? Stay tuned with Sukun FM English and story Secret Son in Law. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and comment in the story. Hello, friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We are here to listen our popular story Secret Son in Law Shadow King. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and comment in the below comment section. Today we listen episode number 35. Let's begin the story. Samar and Kiara went to their office after a day's rest. Their Pranav was trying to fire him, but Kiara fired him and made Prachi the sales manager on the Samar's instance. To celebrate this promotion and the reward of 1 lakh rupees, Samar and Prachi had dinner with the fat security guard Rohan. Samar was enjoying wine with Rohan when a girl and a middle-aged man come there. The girl with the heavy makeup looked at Rohan's with scorn and said, Fatty, I thought you were living your life well and you could afford dinner in a five-star hotel. But now I came to know that someone else is giving you a treat. You are a gone gutter insect. You lie and fool others for food. Rohan's face turned red after listening to the girl's words. He said loudly, Dimpa, I am not lying and cheating anyone for food. The girl insulted Rohan again and said, Fatty, I know what kind of person you are. I have never seen a person as poor as you. I don't understand. How can someone be so poor? You should die. Rohan was now getting angry at the girl. He said in a harsh voice, Dimple, you can't insult me like this. Dimple frowned in a disdain and said, I think maybe you still don't have a job. Earlier, when you don't have a job, you would just lie to people and cheat them for food. Is this true? If not, tell me. Tell me if you I am lying. Then the bald middle-aged man Standing near Dimple smiled and asked, putting his hand around Dimple's waist, Dimple, darling, who is this fat donkey? Dimple smiled charmingly and went closer to the middle-aged man and said, Mohan, this is my ex-boyfriend, but he is very poor and hardly eats even one meal a day. So I have already broken up with them. Now I like you the most. On hearing Dimple's words, the bald man looked at Rohan's with disdain and ordered him, Hey, fat man, Dimple is my girlfriend. Don't even think of bothering me from an hour. He was a rich man who looked down upon poor people. He was looking at Rohan with the same eyes. When Rohan looked into the eyes of the bald man, his face turned dark and he was angry at the man. He wanted to beat him, but he did not have the strength. The fat man was very rich, so Rohan could not mess with him. He clenched his fist tightly to suppress his anger. Then Nipple told the bald man, Darling, even though I have broken up with him, I feel bad to see him living such a cheap life, lying and cheating people for food. She pretended to be uncomfortable, showing sympathy towards Rohan, but she was directly mocking him. The bald middle-aged man praised Dimple and said, Dimple baby, you are a very good person. You are exactly what I thought of you. He was impressed by Dimple's drama. When Dimple showed that Mohan was getting convinced by her words, she continued her drama and said smilingly, charmingly, Mohan, you are the CEO of a big company. Can you give this fat man a job? I don't want him to go around making people mad for food like this. Whatever is this? I was with him at one time. So he doesn't fall ashamed, but I do. The bald man, aged man, nodded and said proudly, Oh, sure, our factory needs a cleaner. You ask this donkey if he even wants to work. On hearing this, Dimple smiled and said to Rohan, Hey donkey, listen, I have found a job for you as a cleaner. Do you want it? I say you should if you work. You won't have to wander around like this for food. Although she had a smile on her face, it was filled with malice and contempt. She was mocking Rohan and crushing his dignity. Rohan's face had turned red with anger. His whole body was trembling with anger. When Samar saw her angry face, he frowned a little and decided to help her. He did not like this arrogant girl at all. Samar patted Rohan's back and said softly, Rohan bro, who are these two? And how did they come there? They are disturbing us. Ask them to leave from here. After this, he looked at Dimple and a bald man and said, How can you two enter here like this? This is a private room. I have booked it. So, how did you enter here without my permission? Listening to him, Dimple looked at Summer from the top to bottom and said, this is five-star property. Only rich people like us can come here. What status do your people like you have that you ask us to leave? There was some disdain in her eyes as there was for Rohan. Summer furrowed his eyebrows in irritation and said in a stem voice, I am feeding Rohan, not you. He is my friend. You people cannot insult my friend like this in front of me. Quietly leave from the here right now, and else it will not be good for you. He did not like greedy girls like Dimple at all. Girls like Dimple could do anything for expensive gifts and money. Then Dimple thought a little and said to Summer, This fat man is a poor man. You are probably poor too because you are his friend. Although she was impressed by the looks of this man, But then she looked at Samar's clothes and thought a little that he too must be poor like Mohan. When Rohan was so Dimple insulting Samar, he shouted angrily, Dimple, you can say anything to me, but not to my friend. Dimple and he were classmates in high school and they were dating each other for some time. As long as she was innocent and not ready for money, their relationship was going great. But ever since Dimple started working, she started changing. She always complaining that he was poor and very unsuccessful, and eventually he broke up with him. Then Dimple raised her right hand and showed the diamond bracelet tied on her wrist to Rohan and said with disdain, well, look at you and your friend. Let me tell you, my firm friend has gifted me this diamond bracelet. Looking at the condition of both of you, it seems that you can't even thinking of buying in your dreams. This diamond bracelet was very beautiful. One could tell by looking at is that it would be worth lakhs. It was gifted to her by the bald man. This is why she agreed to become his girlfriend. Rohan's face turned red after hearing Dimple's word. He had clenched his fist so tightly that the nails had dug into the skin and blood had started flowing. But he was so angry that he did not even feel the pain in his palm. Yes, Rohan might not be so that rich, might not be able to buy the bracelet, but he was really loyal to Dimple and tried to treat her the best. If he had a roti, he would shoot it from Dimple and stay hungry himself. Yet, what he got in a return was just betrayal. Whatever it was, he could bear everything with himself, but he could not see Summer being insulted. But he could not do anything. The man in front of him was very rich and could not mess with him. So he decided to apologize to Summer and turning towards him said, brother, please forgive me. Because of my your evening got ruined. While saying this, he looked at Prachi and disappointed eyes as if he was apologized to her too. Samar and Prachi was happily coming for dinner. He was the one who come with them, and now his own ex-girlfriend ruined their evening. He was blaming himself for all of this. Samar patted Rohan's shoulder and said softly, Rohan, you have called me brother, and being a brother, all your problems are mine too. You don't need to apologize, and you don't need to afraid of them either. I will handle everything. Can you know? Summer will handle all the problems. What will happen in the next episode? Stay tuned with Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like the story and share the story. And also comment in the below comment section. Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We are here to listen episode number 36. If you visit the channel first time, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon also. If you enjoy the story, please share the story and like the story. Let's begin the story, episode number 36. Summer patted Rohan's shoulder and said softly, Rohan, you have called me brother, and being a brother, all your problems are mine too. You don't need to apologize you and need don't to be afraid of them either. I will handle everything. He had come to know Rohan very well in those 4 5 days. Rohan may have been poor, but he was very good at heart. So he had decided that he would help Rohan in dealing with this ill managed girl. Before Rohan could reply to Summer, Dimple intervened between them. This fat man knows nothing but eating. Are you not ashamed to call him your brother? On hearing her, Samar furrowed his eyebrows and stared at angrily and said, "Shame. Why should I be ashamed? You should be ashamed. Your wild boyfriend give you fake diamond bracelet and you are flaunting it as if he has given you a kohinoor. You can buy as many such bracelets as you want from Peepli Bazaar from 5,000 each, and you are trying to humiliate my brother by showing this." On hearing her, Dimple asked in shock, "What do you mean?" Summer looked at her funny and said, "I mean this bracelets of yours is fake, understand?" Everyone present in the scene was shocked, but what he said, especially Dimple. She looked extremely shocked. Dimple looked at him suspiciously and said in a surprised voice, "What did you say? This bracelet of mine is fake." Summer replied coldly, "Yes, this bracelet of yours is completely fake. Its price would be 500 or 1000 rupees at the most." Dimple said again with the same surprise, 1000 rupee? Are you joking? My boyfriend said that is cost 10 lakh rupees. Smiling, Samar pointed towards the bald Mohan and said, it is completely true that its price is only 5,700 rupees. If you don't believe me, you can ask your boyfriend. Seeing the confidence in Samar's eyes, Dimple also started getting suspicious. Taking off her bracelet, she asked the bellman, "Darling, look what he's saying. Now you tell me, him, how much this bracelet cost?" The bald man immediately explained to Dimple, "Honey, of course it cost lakhs. So you know I bought this bracelet today only. So I have its original certificate too. It is an antique price. I had to spend lakhs for it." Saying this, he took out of bracelet the certificate from his pocket with his shaking hands. Although he said that the bracelet was real, there was a nervous expression on his face. Unfortunately, this stupid girl was fooled by the bald man. But Dimple was not able to understand this. Taking the certificate from the bald man, she looked at Summer and said arrogantly, "Did you hear? Mohan said that the bracelet is real. We also have a certificate for it." Summer shook his head while looking at the fool and said with a smile, "Oh, well, you can also buy such certificate from any jewelry inspections company for a couple of thousand rupees. This will not make your fake bracelet real." The bald man was surprised to hear Summer's words, and his facial expression changed completely. Where did this man come from? And how did he know all his tricks? Seeing the bald man nervous, Dimple asked suspiciously, "Mohan, tell me honestly, is this certificate also fake?" When Dimple saw Mohan nervous like this, she had already believed Summer words. Dimple became Mohan's girlfriend because he gifted her this antique and expensive bracelet. She thought that she too has a good, rich boyfriend. So now too will enjoy on this money. But if this bracelet was fake, then did she become a fool? The bald man knew that now his truth has come out, but still he wants to try to explain to Dimple. "Dimple, I am your boyfriend. You should trust me. So how can you trust an outsider from more other than me?" After saying this to Dimple, the bald man looked at Summer aggressively and said angrily, "Hey brother, if you try to call it fake again, I will not stand here like this." But Summer was not affected by his threat. He looked at Dimple, put his hand behind his back and said in an arrogant tone, "If you don't believe me, then it is very easy to find out whether this bracelet is real or fake. If it turns black after burning, it will lighter. Then it's fake. Otherwise, it's real. He was the honorary president of the world's largest antique auction organization. He could easily identify whether jewelry, spears, diamonds, and antique pieces are real or fake. Dimple's eyes widened after hearing that Summer said. She took out a lighter from her purse and started burning the diamond bracelet. The diamond bracelet turned black in a few seconds. Dimple saw the bracelet turning black and said, "It's turned black, it's a fake." She looked at the burnt diamond bracelet with anger and rage. She understood that she had been deceived by the bald man. A real diamond bracelet does not turn black after burning. Only fake bracelets made of glass and carbon change color after burning. Therefore, this diamond bracelet was undoubtedly a fake bracelet. Dimple angrily hit the bald man on the hand with the fake diamond bracelet and shouted loudly, "Stupid! You fooled me by giving me this fake bracelet. I will kill you." The bald man held his head and shouted, "Ouch! I'm in pain." His face was slightly burned due to the hot bracelet. Summer started laughing, seeing Dimple and the bald man fighting with each other. This is what he wanted, that instead of killing his enemies himself, they should fight among these themselves. The bald man's face suddenly changed and he stared at Dimples angrily and said, "Bitch, you dare to kill me?" This crazy woman really dared to kill him. Even his own wife had never dared to kill him till date. Dimple stared at him angrily and said, "Liar, you lied to me, cheated me, and still you want me not to kill you?" The bald man blamed her and said, "You are very greedy. I lied. You fall into my trap. You cannot blame anyone else for this. It is all your fault." Dimple stared and said, "You lied to me. Do you think I will forgive you after hearing this?" She went to the bald man like a mad woman and started scratching his face. The bald man did not expect such treatment. His face got many such scratches and started bleeding. The bald man shouted in anger, "You scratched me! Go to hell!" Saying this, he slapped Dimple's face hard, causing her face to swell. Dimple got even angry now. She stared at said, "You slapped me. I will kill you." And she again started scratching the bald man's face like a hungry lioness and started fighting even more frantically. The bald man did not have much energy left even though he was a man. But they both were fighting very hard and fell on the ground. Summer turned two loving people into enemies in a matter of seconds. Summer knew how to throw a bone between two dogs. Summer smiled and said, holding both Rohan and Prachi hands, "Come on, we should leave now," leaving them alone to fight. Saying this, he took both of them out of there. The sound of fighting continued to be heard for some time even after they left. Rohan greeted Summer and said gratefully after coming out of the hotel, "Thank you very much, brother." He knew that if Summer had not helped him, Dimple would have treated him too very much badly. What will Summer do next? See you in next episode. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and comment also in the comment section. Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We are here to listen story Secret Son-in-Law, episode number 36. Tomorrow we see Rohan was thanked to Summer for he saved him to greedy girl. Now let's begin the story, episode number 37. Rohan greeted Summer and said gratefully after coming out of the hotel, "Thank you very much, brother." He knew that if Summer had not helped him, Dimple would have treated him very badly. This man not only saved him but also turned Dimple and Bald Man against each other. He had done a lot for him. Summer consoled the fat man by patting his shoulder and said, Rohan bhai, she is not worthy for you. You are a very good person. You will soon get a very nice girlfriend. Rohan said firmly, Thank you, brother. From now on, you as my brother. If you need help in anything, let me know. I will try my best to help you. Rohan considered Summer as a real brother and he could do anything for him. After listening to the fat man, Prachi intervened between them and said, Okay, I agree you are real brothers. Now stop fooling me with your words and let's go to karaoke quickly. Rohan also scratched his hand and smiled and said, So sorry, we forget about you. Prachi rolled his eyes after listening to him and said, Okay, now let's go quickly. They took a taxi and left for Silver Diamond. Silver Diamond was a big entertainment club in Indore. It was a five-story building and its size was more than 1000 square meters. Decorated with luxurious golden wallpaper, crystal floor, and huge chandeliers. The front desk manager was a long haired, beautiful girl with a very attractive face and tall stature, wearing a black formal suit. The beautiful manager looked down upon Summer, seeing his dirty look. People said that one's status is determined by his clothes. While working in customer service, one must take special care of one thing. This is a deep understanding of people's status. To find out a glance whether the person in front of is rich or poor, a salesperson must know whether what the person in front of wearing is branded or not, what might be its price. So obviously, Summer was a poor man in her eyes, and obviously she looked down upon poor people the most. He looked at Summer with disdain and said, Hello, mister. The service charge here is very high. Even the most normal room rent is 3000 rupee per hour, and I don't think you can afford that much, so I suggest you leave from here. Summer rolled his eyes and thought to himself, What nonsense! Why are these money hungry and arrogant girls everywhere? And do I look the poor man? He is the Shadow King, the leader of the Shadow Group. He had accounts in the biggest bank of the world and millions of rupees in each account. If he wanted, he could buy the whole club on the spot. However, all this was in the Shadow King's name, and so he could not use that money. It would reveal his identity. Snap. Summer slammed 2000 rupees on the front of desk and said, 3000 rupees for the room. The rest for the two beautiful girls, fruits, and 20 beers. Seeing the pile of cash, the manager's eyes suddenly lit up with happiness in a minute. A smile came on his face because he got a good commission on every booking. All the disdain disappeared from his eyes. He took out a key from the under the table and signaled Summer and his companies to follow him, saying, Come, I will show you your room. Money was the most important thing for him. Summer also said to his companions, Let's go. And then the three followed that beauty. In a few minutes, they reached the room. After the manager opened the room for them, he also sent two beautiful girls. These two beautiful girls were called Princess, and their faces were delicate. They were both tall and slender, with red lips and red nail polish, which made them look very attractive. The princesses were meant to sing, drink, and play drinking games with customers. If you were willing to pay more, you could even sleep with them. The two princes started introducing themselves. The long haired girl was named Sheena, and the short haired girl was the Rohi. After this, they started pouring drinks for Samar and Rohan. As for Prachi, they were completely ignoring her because she was also a girl. But Prachi was unfazed. She paid no attention to their ignorance and said with a smile, Samar, I will sing first. Saying this, she started singing with her microphone. Prachi sang the beautiful song in a great voice. However, in Samar's eyes, Prachi's voice and tune were nothing special. If was his turn, he could have definitely sung 10 times better than her. Then Prachi extended the microphone towards Samar and said, Samar, come now, it's your turn. You also sing a song. Samar also took the microphone from Prachi's hand with a smile and said, Okay, I will complete that song of yours. Saying this, he cleared his throat a little and after getting ready, he started singing into the microphone. Summer sang the song brilliantly. Prachi was shocked. She clapped in surprise and praised Summer. Wow, wow, what a great voice you have, Summer. Even Rohan and the two beautiful girls were speechless. This voice can be compared to the four kings of the music world. Prachi had a shy expression on her face and she gave a thumbs up to Summer and said, Summer, you sing so well, Summer. You sing so well, sing again. On Prachi's insistence, Summer sang a dozen times. Prachi was memorized by his voice, but Summer's throat and dry up. Summer said softly, No more. I need some rest now. Rohan, come on, you sing now. Saying this, he handed the microphone to Rohan and sat down. His throat was dry and itchy after singing for so long. Okay, I will let you guys hear my voice. Rohan said as he took the microphone and started singing. But he had sung only one sentence when Prachi stopped him. Fatty's voice was terrible. It was even more hoarse than the voice of dying pigs. Prachi stopped and said, Hey, Fatty, stop singing. I am scared of your voice. I might start having nightmares at night. She also a little drank, so he did not realize she called Rohan fat. The other two princes covered their mouths and started laughing secretly. They had been working in this club for so many years, but this was the first time they had heard such a bad song. It sounded like a howling of ghosts and wolves. Rohan asked sadly, Summer brother, is my singing really that terrible? Summer nodded in sympathy and said, Yes, please don't sing anymore. The fat man's voice was so deadly that he could not stand it anymore. Rohan's disappointed put down the microphone to avoid the others' outrage. The long haired host, Sheena, sat down next to Summer and said seductively, Handsome, let us play a game now. I will throw the dice and whoever loses will have to drink alcohol. Saying this, she took out a small ball and a dice. The job of these girls was to sing and entertain the customers. They could allow the customers to take some small advantage of them, but their main goal was to force the customers spend more and buy more alcohol from the club. If the customers paid enough money, he could bring these girls to the hotel. Of course, such girls were much more friendly. When Summer saw Sheena's attractive appearance, he smiled and asked the interest. Tell me, how do we play this? Sheena said, her pretty face turning red and happy. I am going to throw a dice here. If you can tell which number will come up with the die big or small, you win and I lose. And if you can't, you lose, I win. And whoever loses has to drink a bottle of beer. One of three is the small number, and 4 to 6 is the big number. What will do Summer next? What happen in the next episode? Summer will win or lose. Stay tuned with Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and comment in the below comment section. Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We are here to listen episode number 38. Secret son-in-law story is very nice story. If you enjoy the story, please like the story and share the story. And please do a valuable comment in the comment section. Let's begin the story, episode number 38. Sheena tells Summer all the rules of the game, and Summer smiled proudly and said confidently, "Okay, I will play with you a little, but my nickname is 7 times one night. I never lose." The two princesses, Sheena and Rohi, both rolled their eyes. Sheena placed the die in the bowl, shook it was a few times, and asked, "Big or small?" "Small." Summer moved a little and looked at the die in a bowl. Sheena's eyelids fluttered. She opened the lid up and sure enough, it was small. A spark of surprise flashed in her eyes. Sheena muttered to herself, "This handsome man was very lucky. He guessed right in the first time." But the loser must be ready to accept defeat. She took a bottle of beer and finished the bottle quickly. All the host of this club can drink a lot. She put the dice in the bowl and started shaking it again, and Summer asked, "Handsome, now tell me, it's a big number or a small one?" Summer smiled again and said, "It is still a small number." The girl looked at the number slowly. It was a 2. She was shocked again. She said in shock, "You are right again. This time also I lost." Saying this, she picked up another bottles of beer and finished it quickly. She rolled the dice again and said, "Handsome, now tell me, it's a big number or small number?" Summer smiled again and said, "It's a big number this time." Shania removed the lid again and showed that the number on the dice was 5. She was shocked again. She cursed Summer in her mind and said, "Fuck you. I don't want to play. I think you are the god of gambling. How can be the right every time?" Summer had already guessed correctly several times in a row, due to which he had already drank several bottles of beer, so he was not feeling well. When Ruhi was that Sheena had drunk a lot, she stopped Sheena and said, "Sheena, let me continue now." Saying this, she took the dice from Sheena's hand and started playing with Summer. 10 minutes later, Ruhi was also stunned. Summer was always guessing the dice correctly. He had not made a single mistake. Rohi had also drunk too much beer like Sheena's, and she was also very drunk now. Both Sheena and Rohi looked at Summer angrily. They had initially planned to get Summer drunk, but they ended up getting drunk. How embarrassing. When Prachi saw that both the boat host had lost, she too got interested in the game and started playing with Summer. No doubt. She too faced a crushing defeat. After drinking a few bottles of beer, she refused to play with Summer too. Rohan did not believe it and decided to play the game with Summer too. So he softly said, "Summer bro, I also want to play dice with you." On hearing this, Summer smiled and said, "What the big deal is this? You too tried it." Saying this, he started playing with Rohan too, but Summer defeated him too badly. Summer was like a gambling god and he defeated everyone present in the room. After enjoying for an hour, Samar, Rohan, and Prachi came out of the Silver Diamond, and Prachi and Rohan were very drunk. But looking at Samar, no one could tell that he had taken even a single sip of alcohol. Prachi looked at Samar with blurry eyes. There was a strange sparkle in Samar's eyes. Prachi smiled slightly and said, "Thank you. Today was the best and happiest day of my life." Summer held Prachi and smiled a little. She was swingingly badly intoxicated. Summer had come to know that Prachi had something in her heart and she wanted to express her feeling today. When Rohan saw the intimate act, he turned her head away sadly. He was alone. Not getting love from anyone hurt him a lot. Summer and Prachi had just walked about 50 meters when a group of goons stopped them. The goons had died there and were carrying sticks in their hands. They looked like a dangerous gang. Their leader was an old man who was tall and well built. He was at least more than 6 feet tall and was muscular and full of strength. His name was the Baktawar, who was the leader of the gang. When Prachi saw the goons, she became quiet, her innocent face filled with fear. She knew that these goons were bad and often did bad things. Baktawar waved his hand and singulated Prachi to move aside, saying, "Beauty, you have no business here. Move aside. Someone has paid us to break Summer's legs." They had come to teach Summers a lesson. Prachi was smart. She immediately understood that these goons must have been sent by Pranav. So he asked these goons, "Has Pranav sent you guys here? He is the one who paid you guys to break Summer's legs, right?" After all, Pranav was fired from Agarwal Industries because of Summer. Pranav was a very mean person and Prachi knew very well that he would definitely take revenge. Bhaktar replied to Prachi, "Absolutely. Those who upset Pranav will have to pay for it." He smiled coldly and accepted that Pranav had sent them. Prachi eyelids fluttered. Her innocent face was full of embarrassment. She looked at Summer and said, "Summer, I'm sorry. I have put you in a trouble. Run fast." She knew that Pranav had hired a contract killer to kill Summer and all this happened because of him. She pushed Summer and wanted him to run away, but Summer did not agree. Summer patted Prachi on the shoulder and looked at her with a consoling look and said, "Prachi, don't worry. There are a bunch of weak peoples. They can't do anything to me." When Bakhtaur heard Summer calling his weak, his face turned sad and he walked towards Summer in anger. He said, "Hey, you are very arrogant. I have come to teach you a lesson." He walked towards Summer. When Bakhtaur came closer and saw Summer's face, he screamed in fear. "Oh my god, is it you?" Since it was night, the light was dim. He was very far away and so he did not been able to see Summer's face yet. Now that he was close, Bakhtavar could finally see Summer's face. His face immediately turned pale and he started shaking with fear. The young man standing in front of him was the same person who had broken his hand at their hideout. When he thought of the terrible memories of Summer, he became nervous with fear. He was very afraid of this man who could defeat dozens of gang members in a minute. Bakhtaur immediately apologized to him, saying, "Big, big brother, please forgive me. I did not know it was you." Bakhtawar's face was terrified and his whole body was trembling. Summer said in a cold voice, with his hands behind. Baktawar, how you come again? Friend, do you want to die? Baktawar bowed his head and said, Big brother, I made a mistake. Please don't kill me. Let me go. He was pleading badly. He knew that if Summer got then a little angry, his head could be cut off. Frowning his eyebrows, Summer directly asked, Tell me, where is the Pranav? Now what will do Baktawar? Can he came with the Baktawar and Pranavs in front of Summer? What will do Summer in the next? Let's see in the next episode. And stay tuned with Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and comment on the story. Hello, friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We are here to listen Secret Ghar Jamai Son-in-law Shadow King story. If you enjoy the story, please like the story and share the story with your friends and comment in the below comment section. We are here to listen episode number 39. Let's begin the story. Baktawar immediately called out the Pranav and said, Big brother, he is in the car behind. I will drag him right now. To avoid Samar's anger, Baktawar immediately got ready to catch Pranav. At this time, 50 meters away, Pranav was sitting excitedly in the car. He had just given Baktawar 1 lakh rupee and give him a contract to break Samar's legs. He was very happy at the thought of being at Samar's feet after breaking his legs. Once Samar become disabled, Prachi will surely leave him. Then Prachi will be his. Thinking all this, a big smile came to Pranav's face. Pranav was still excited when he suddenly heard someone shouted, Get out of the car right now! He looked up and found that it was Baktawar. He was excitedly. Baktawar, brother, did you break Samar's legs? Baktawar angrily shouted at him as soon as he heard him. I have came to break your legs. Open the car door right now and get out. Pranav felt something was wrong and confusion was clearly visible on his face. So he asked, Baktawar, brother, what do you mean? Baktawar again said and agreed. I have asked you to get out of the car. Didn't you hear me? Panicked Pranav held the car door tightly and said, Baktawar, bro, if you don't tell me the reason, I will not open the door. Baktawar smiled coldly at him and said, To hell with it. If you don't open the door, I will break the glass. And saying this, he suddenly punched the glass with his right hand. There was a loud bang and Baktawar shattered the hard glass of the driver's side door window with a single punch. He caught Pranav sitting inside the car with his hand and pulled him out of the car. Pranav's face turned terrible pale. After seeing Baktawar's cruel face, he asked tremblingly, Baktawar, bro, what are you doing? And what do you want from me? Baktawar answered his questions with a cold smile and said, What do I want? You will know soon. Saying this, he dragged Pranav in front of Samar. When they reached in front of Samar, Baktawar let go of his hand and threw Pranav on the ground. Pranav looked up and was shocked. Samar was standing in front of him. Samar asked him with a cold smile, Pranav, I hear that you want to break my leg. Is this true? Pranav rolled his eyes and looked like he was trying to hide something. And he lied to Samar by answering, Samar, I don't know what you are talking about. Samar frowned and said to Baktawar, Baktawar, he is not accepting that he was sent you. Then are you lying? And if you were telling me truth, then why are you not saying anything to me? Bhaktavar stood aside and said respectfully, Pranav gave me 1 lakh rupees and told me to break your legs. Samar shouted and asked Pranav, Pranav, did you hear what Pranav Bhaktavar is saying? Pranav also said angrily, Yes, Samar, yes. I have given any supari your supari Bhaktavar. I want to break your legs. You took Prachi from me and got me thrown out of Agrawal industry. I will take revenge from you from this. Samar put his hand behind and asked, Pranav, have you heard the saying, those who commit many sins die? But Pranav did not pay any attention to his words and he suddenly turned towards Bhaktavar and asked loudly, Bhaktavar bro, I have already given you 1 lakh rupee to break his legs. Still, why do you not break his legs? Slap. Bhaktavar slapped Pranav on his face and shouted angrily, Samar is my elder brother. How dare you give me the contract to kill my elder brother? Do you want to die? To save himself from Samar, Bhaktavar started calling him elder brother. He wanted to calm Samar's anger at any cost, even if he had to do anything for that. Pranav was shocked to hear Bhaktavar Bhai calling Samar elder brother. His face filled with surprise. He muttered in surprise, What? Samar is your elder brother? He knew that Bhaktavar was very powerful. He was the leader of the Eagle gang and had dozens of goons under him. How did they become Samar's subordinate? Bhaktavar then ran to Samar and respectfully asked, Big brother, what should we do with this bastard? His respectful behavior was like that of a subordinate. When Pranav saw this behavior of Bhaktavar, he trembled badly and his facial expression changed. He realized that he had put his hand in the jaws of lion. Samar waved his hand and said softly, Bhaktavar, break his legs. After giving the order to Bhaktavar, Samar said to himself, Those who will live with me lovingly get love from me in return. But those who mess with me, then they only beg for their death. Pranav wanted to break his legs, so he ordered to break his legs. Bhaktavar ran towards Pranav. Pranav's eyes were filled with fear. He understood that now no one can save him. Then Bhaktavar kicked his legs hard and a cracking sound came from his legs and his bone broke. Pranav just screamed loudly. Oh, my legs! He was in so much pain that he had hung down due to his pain and he fainted. After that, Bhaktavar took out his bank card from his wallet and extended it towards Samar and said nervously, Big brother, this is my bank card. I want to give you to this as compensate for the mistake I have done today. There are 50 lakhs rupees in it. Please accept it. This is my apology. He was very scared of the young man standing in front of him. He knew that if Samar did not accept the bank card, no one would be able to save him. Seeing Bakhtawar's panicked look, Samar almost laughed. He was wondering if he was that crazy. Samar took Bakhtawar's bank card and said lightly, Okay, now you go. I forgive you. Bakhtawar wiped the cold sweat on his forehead and thanked him gratefully. Thank you, big brother. If you ever need me, give me a call. I will be there immediately. Saying this, he gave his mobile number to Samar. Samar smiled lightly and said to the lathering Prachi and Rohan, Prachi, Rohan, let's go. Saying this, he took Prachi and Rohan with him and let go. Bhaktawar suddenly bowed his head and, seeing Samar leaving, shouted, "Goodbye, big brother!" The dozens of goons standing behind Bhaktawar also bowed his heads and shouted goodbye to Samar and left from there. Seeing them shouting like this, Samar thought to himself, "What nonsense! There is no need to get into so much formality." Okay, Samar stumbled and almost fell. Seeing this behavior of Bhaktawar and his men, he seemed like the leader of their gang. This was spoiling his bright and just image. Prachi and Rohan was stunned when they saw a large group of people calling Samar Big Brother. In the eyes of both of them, Samar was no less than a hero. Prachi looked at Samar with admiration and said, "Samar, I did not accept you to be so strong. Bhaktawar, the leader of Eagle Gang, whom the whole city fears, also call you Big Brother." Her beautiful eyes were shining. She was about to propose to him when Rohan came between them. He also praised Summer and said, "Summer bro, you are amazing. From today, you are my role model. I will always follow you." And Summer now will be the role model of Rohan. What will do next in the summer? What will do next in Pranav? Can Pranav take revenge from Summer? What happened in the next episode? Stay tuned with Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please share the story, comment the story on comment section and like the story also. Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We are here to listen episode number 40. Our story Secret Son-in-law Shadow King. Let's begin the story. Prachi and Rohan praised the summer because he knew that Bakhtawar was the leader of the most dangerous gang of the area. Eagle gang and he was very powerful. But now the Samar Bakhtawar was calling Samar Big Brother. What did this mean? It meant that Samar was more powerful and strong than Bakhtawar. If he followed Samar, his future will be bright. Samar felt a little shy when he heard his praise and from Prachi and Rohan's mouth. He said shyly, "Thank you for praising me so much, but now I am very tired. Let's go to our respective homes and rest. Anyway, we have to go to office tomorrow." He stopped taxis one by one and made Prachi and Rohan sit in them and sent their homes. Then he called a taxi for himself and headed towards Nipania Palace. While Samar was walking towards Nipania Palace, two men were sitting opposite each other in luxurious room in the city hot spring villa. One was strong, built, and had a high nose. He had blonde curly hair that curled slightly upward. He was the king of the tiger group, the Tiger King. There was another man sitting to the left of the Tiger King. He was average height and fair complexion. His eyes were bright and he was wearing a leopard skin shirt. His whole body was muscular, strong and full of explosive energy. He was the Panther King, the king of Panther Group. The Tiger King frowned and asked, "Panther King, is this place safe?" The Panther King stroked the leopard skin on his body and said softly, "Of course, at least it's safer than your sunshine real estate abandoned basement." He was wearing a real leopard skin suit that he had killed with a single punch. Tiger King played with the iron ball in his hand and said, "Panther King, this hot spring villa belongs to the Mehra family. The Mehra family is a complete thug and we can't trust them blindly." He was the Tiger King of the group and the bearer of the royal lineage. His ancestor was a general who had an innate enmity with India. The Panther King smiled proudly and said, Tiger King, rest assured, the entire business of the Mehra family comes under me. I am the real owner of the hot spring villa as well. The Mehra family cannot dare to go against us. The Panther King belonged to his big family that had invested a lot in Indore. The Mehra family was one of the companies in which his family had invested. The Tiger King said lightly while smoking a cigar. You are very clever. He was smoking a Chohiba black cigar, which was the best brand in the world. A cigar of this brand cost a few thousands dollars. Then the Panther King said with a little anger, no, we are not as clever as the Red King. That man hit as soon as he come to India. I also don't know where he is hiding. Lines of anger appeared on his face when he talked about the Red King. The Red King was the coming and evil man who he hated. Tiger King put his hand on his hand and said, Panther King, forget about this coward. What's the point? You tell me. Have you made any plan as to how we should deal with Shadow King? Panther King thought for a while and said, Yes, I have thought of something. I want us to deal with them, thought Mehra family. Tiger King was a little shocked at his words and said, Panther King, even though Mehra family is strong, they cannot fight Shadow King. Then Panther King told him his entire the plan and said, My friend, I am planning to pit Mehra family against his wife Kiara Agarwal, not Shadow King. Panther King smiled lightly with confidence. The Tiger King frowned and said, Okay, but let me remind you. Poisonous Spider wanted to kill Kiara Agarwal, but Shadow King killed her. He did not have much hope from the strategy of Panther King. The Panther King said with a deep smile, Tiger King, I forgot to tell you, I am not talking about using force. I know that the Shadow King is the most powerful person in the world. I want the Mehra family to form a partnership with Agrawal Industry in their name, then slowly destroy their business. There was a cold gleam in his eyes. On the other hand, Summer was still in the taxi. He did not know that the Panther King had his eyes on Kiara's Agrawal Industries. But even if he knew, he would not have been afraid. The word fear did not even exist in the Shadow King's dictionary. In a short while, his taxi reached Nipania Palace. Summer got off the taxi and walked towards the entry gate of Nipania Palace. Both the security guards looked at him with disdain. Both the security guards and guessed in their mind, this man was wearing dirty clothes. He was obviously poor. Suddenly, a surprised voice came from behind. Oh, it's you. Summer looked around and saw a beautiful girl stopping next to him in a white Maserati. She was wearing a red dress and was sitting in the driver's seat. The beautiful girl was none other than Payal, the same girl from whom he borrowed the royal black chicken. Summer smiled and said with a gentleman's smile, Beauty, what a coincidence! I didn't think we would meet again so soon. Payal said with a charming smile, Yes, I really think fate wants to meet. That's why we are meeting again and again. Now that fate wants to us to meet, would you like to come to my house for a drink? Summer smiled lightly and said, Of course, why not? Let's go. Saying this, he got into the car. Vroom. The machinery roared and Pyle pushed the accelerator hard and drove the car towards villa number 14. The security guards were stunned to see them leaving this. One of them asked the other in surprise, "Hey brother, what I am saying? This dirty poor man has gone with Pyle madam. That too Pyle madam herself invited him." The other one replied, "So his sugar mommy is Pyle. Now there is no doubt how that poor man can come to his this high-end locality." The first security guard singled the other security guard to keep quiet and said, "Shut up. Didn't you want to leave? While madam is not a normal girl about whom you can gossip. Have you forgotten about that security guard who dared to tease Pyle madam and was found dead the next day?" Saying this, he patted him on the head. After this, both of the men started looking around in fear that someone might have heard their conversation. If someone heard, they would not survive. Inside the living room of villa number 14, Summer was sitting on a leather sofa and Pyle was sitting opposite him. Pyle was very beautiful. Her lips were bright red and with her eyes were so deep as a lake. Her skin was smooth and her figure was amazing. Her eyes were shining, mesmerizing. She wore a long spaghetti dress which made a pretty face look even more beautiful. Her white legs were peeking out from her under her dress. She was wearing red heels matching the dress. She was charming and adorable, while smiling charmingly and flaunted her beautiful curves and said, "What would you like to drink? Tea, coffee, red wine?" The curves of body were extremely attractive and just a glance of her work make one's heart beat faster. Every common man's mouth would water and after seeing her. Thankfully, Summer was the Shadow King and could keep his peace. Summer tapped his finger and said softly, "French red wine, please." Pyle smiled charmingly and said, "Okay, I will go downstairs and get a bottle from the basement. Till then, you can see the house." Saying this, she walked gracefully towards the basement. There was a house bar in the basement which had a large collection of expensive wines. The price of each bottle was also very high. Upstairs, Summer stood up and started walking around the living room. The living room was luxurious and had European marble, even which looked very attractive. After a while returned with a bottle of red wine. She smiled and said, "How is this living room?" Summer looked at her and said, "It's very nice. The design is very good. Is it designed by Persian designer Andrea?" Pale eyes showed a glimpse of surprise. She said in surprise, "You are very smart. How did you know that it was designed by Andrea?" Andrea was the most famous interior designer in Paris. He was used his contacts and spent a lot of money to invite her to design the house. How did the man sitting in front of him know that famous designer? Summer smiled mysteriously and said, "I just guessed." He did not want to tell the woman standing in front of him that Andrea was his friend. Pyle smiled seductively and said, "You are smart here. Have some wine to celebrate." Saying this, she handed Summer a glass of red wine. Can Pyle know the truth about Summer? What was happen in the next episode? Stay tuned with Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and comment in below comment section.